Hold up. Before I reveal these coins, take a close look at what I'm holding in my hand. I have 4 Wheat Pennies right here. They all look old. They all look ordinary. But these are not just any old pennies. Out of the millions of wheat pennies ever produced, I've uncovered 4 incredibly rare coins that have shocked collectors with astonishing auction prices. The craziest part? They look so ordinary that people accidentally spend them every single day without realizing they're throwing away hidden wealth. Do not spend these coins. Check your pocket, your coin jar, your wallet, and every coin collection you own, because one of these pennies could be worth a fortune. The first coin is valuable. The second is even rarer. The third has surprised collectors for years. And the final wheat penny is so unbelievably valuable that it has stunned even experienced collectors at major auctions. Nobody talks about these hidden treasures because they're hiding in plain sight. Collectors are constantly searching for original examples, supplies continue shrinking every year, and auction prices keep climbing. This is not fiction. This is real auction history. Before we continue, there's something very important you need to know. If you have any of these wheat pennies, don't spend them, don't clean them, and don't sell them to the first person who makes an offer. Instead, contact a reputable coin dealer, a certified grading service, or a trusted numismatic auction company to have your coin professionally authenticated and evaluated before making any decision. One small penny could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Now, let's reveal the first ultra-rare wheat penny that most people unknowingly spend every single day. What if I told you that a single 1943 Lincoln steel penny with a D mint mark hiding in an old coin jar, tucked away in a forgotten drawer, or sitting inside a family collection could be one of the most fascinating coins in American history? Most people see a silver-colored penny and assume it's nothing special. But collectors know that the 1943 D Lincoln steel penny has a remarkable story, and the right example can attract serious interest. The story begins during World War II. In 1943, copper was desperately needed for military equipment, ammunition, and communications. To conserve this vital metal, the United States Mint made a historic decision. Instead of striking pennies from bronze, it produced them from steel coated with zinc. The result was a penny unlike any other in regular circulation, a coin with a bright silver appearance instead of the familiar copper color. The D Mint mark beneath the date tells us this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Millions were produced, but after more than 80 years, many have become worn, scratched, rusted, or damaged. That's why collectors pay close attention to well-preserved examples that still display their original zinc-coated surfaces. Before you assume every 1943 D steel penny is worth a fortune, there's something important you need to know. Most examples are collectible, but their value depends on several key factors. Condition, originality, eye appeal, and genuine mint errors all play a major role. A bright, uncirculated coin with sharp details is much more desirable than one that has heavy corrosion or years of wear. The first thing you should do is check the date carefully. Make sure it clearly reads 1943. Then look below the date for the small D mint mark. Once you've confirmed those details, examine the coin's color. A genuine steel cent should have a silver-gray appearance because of its zinc coating. If your coin appears copper-colored, don't jump to conclusions, but it does deserve a closer inspection by an expert because authentic 1943 bronze cents are among the rarest U.S. coins ever discovered. Here's another simple test that collectors use. Take a small magnet and place it near the coin. A genuine 1943 D steel penny should stick to the magnet because its core is made of steel. This quick test helps distinguish genuine steel cents from regular bronze Lincoln cents, although it cannot confirm rarity or value on its own. Now the excitement begins. Collectors also search for authentic mint errors on 1943 D steel pennies. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks struck through errors, and other mint-made mistakes can make a coin much more desirable. Every genuine error tells a unique story about the minting process and is carefully studied by numismatists. One of the biggest mistakes people make is cleaning these coins. Because steel cents have a thin zinc coating, polishing or cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce collector value. If you believe you've found an exceptional example, leave it exactly as it is and handle it only by the edges. As this story continues, you will discover how to identify the most desirable 1943 D steel pennies, what separates ordinary examples from premium collector pieces, and the legendary error that has captivated collectors for decades. Stay with me, because the most surprising facts about this famous wartime penny are still ahead. Now here's where the story takes an exciting turn. Imagine you're searching through an old jar of coins that has been sitting untouched for decades. You spot a silver-colored penny with the date 1943 and a small D mint mark. Most people would toss it aside without another thought. But experienced collectors know that this is the moment to slow down and inspect every detail carefully, because the smallest difference can completely change a coin's collector appeal. The first thing to examine is the coin surface. When the 1943 D steel penny left the Denver Mint, it had a bright zinc coating that gave it a shiny silver appearance. Over time, many coins developed dark spots, scratches, or rust after years of circulation. A coin that still has smooth, original surfaces with very little corrosion is much harder to find today, and collectors are always searching for examples that have survived in outstanding condition. Next, study Abraham Lincoln's portrait under a bright light. Look closely at the hair above his forehead, the cheek, and the bow tie. The sharper these details appear, the less wear the coin has experienced. Then turn the coin over and inspect the wheat ears. Bold, wheat lines and crisp lettering usually indicate a better preserved example, making the coin more attractive to collectors. Now, let's talk about something that excites every coin hunter: mint errors. Genuine production mistakes can make a 1943 D steel penny much more collectible. Look for off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks struck through errors, and dramatic die breaks. These errors happen during the minting process and are completely different from damage caused by circulation. Every authentic error has its own unique story, which is one reason collectors enjoy searching for them. Another simple but important test is using a magnet. A genuine 1943 D steel penny should stick to a magnet because it was struck on a steel planchet coated with zinc. If you ever find a 1943 penny that looks copper-colored and does not stick to a magnet, it deserves professional authentication. While genuine 1943 bronze cents are among the rarest and most valuable U.S. coins ever discovered, they are extraordinarily rare, and many altered coins exist. Careful authentication is essential before making assumptions. One mistake many people make is trying to polish or clean their steel pennies. Cleaning can remove the original zinc coating and leave permanent damage that collectors immediately recognize. A coin with original, untouched surfaces is almost always preferred over one that has been cleaned. Professional grading can also make a significant difference. Grading experts carefully inspect the coin for wear, originality, strike quality, corrosion, and eye appeal. High-grade examples with strong, original surfaces are much scarcer than ordinary circulated coins, making them especially desirable among advanced collectors. Stories of remarkable discoveries continue to inspire collectors around the world. People have found beautiful 1943 D steel pennies in inherited collections, estate sales, old coin albums, and forgotten jars of change. While most examples are collectible rather than extremely valuable, exceptional uncirculated coins and authentic mint errors continue to attract strong interest because they are much harder to locate. The greatest lesson from a 1943 D Lincoln steel penny is that every coin deserves a careful inspection. A few extra moments of attention can reveal details that many people overlook. In the final part, we'll discuss realistic values, explain the truth behind the legendary 1943 bronze cent, and reveal the final checklist every collector should follow before buying, selling, or preserving this historic wartime penny. Coin number 2. What if I told you that a single 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark hiding in an old coin jar, tucked inside a forgotten piggy bank, or passed down through your family's collection, could be worth much more than just 1 cent? Every day, people overlook old pennies without realizing that some of them have become highly collectible because of their condition, genuine mint errors, and historical significance. Today, we're uncovering the fascinating story of the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The year was 1942, and America had entered World War II. Factories across the country were shifting to wartime production, and millions of Lincoln Wheat Pennies were struck to support everyday commerce. At the Philadelphia Mint, these coins were produced without a mint mark, making them easy to identify. They circulated through grocery stores, gas stations, movie theaters, and small businesses, becoming part of daily life during one of the most important periods in American history. At first glance, the 1942 no-mint mark wheat penny may seem ordinary, but experienced collectors know that not every coin is the same. While millions were produced, far fewer have survived in exceptional condition after more than 80 years. Coins with sharp details, strong original luster, and minimal wear are much more desirable than heavily circulated examples. The first thing you should do is check the date. Make sure it clearly reads 1942. Then look below the date. If there is no D or S mint mark, your coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Next, carefully examine Lincoln's portrait. Look at the hair above his forehead, the cheek, and the bow tie. Then turn the coin over and inspect the wheat ears. Coins with bold wheat lines and crisp lettering usually indicate better preservation. Another important feature is the coin's original color. Copper coins naturally tone over time, changing from bright red to red-brown and eventually brown. While each color has collector appeal, coins that retain vibrant original red surfaces are generally scarcer and often attract stronger interest when they are also well preserved. Now, let's talk about one of the most exciting parts of coin collecting, genuine mint errors. Collectors search for authentic off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks struck through errors, and other production mistakes. Although these errors are uncommon, they can make a 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny especially interesting because every authentic error is unique. One mistake many people make is cleaning old pennies. Cleaning may seem like a way to improve appearance, but it usually removes the original surfaces and leaves microscopic scratches that reduce collector value. If you believe you've found an exceptional coin, leave it exactly as it is and handle it only by the edges. Professional grading can also make a significant difference. Experts carefully examine strike quality, wear luster, eye appeal, and surface preservation before assigning a numerical grade. The finest certified examples are much harder to find than ordinary circulated coins, making them especially attractive to advanced collectors. Every 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny tells a story. It circulated during the early years of World War II, survived decades of American history, and eventually became part of one of the world's most collected coin series. Today, collectors continue searching through inherited collections, estate sales, old albums, and coin jars because remarkable discoveries are still possible. Before you spend another old wheat penny, take a closer look. Check the date, confirm there is no mint mark, inspect the color and design details, and search carefully for any unusual features that could indicate a genuine mint error. Your next exciting discovery could already be waiting in your collection. If you enjoy learning about valuable wheat pennies, rare mint errors, hidden treasures, and fascinating U.S. coin history, subscribe for more videos. Every coin tells a story, and your next great discovery may be only one penny away. Now, the real treasure hunt begins because this is where experienced collectors start noticing details that most people completely miss. Imagine opening an old family coin album that hasn't been touched in decades. As you turn each page, one 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark catches your attention. At first glance, it looks like any other old penny, but after a closer inspection, you notice brighter colors, sharper details, and very little wear. That single coin could become one of the most interesting pieces in your collection. The first thing collectors examine is the coin's original mint luster. When a 1942 Philadelphia wheat penny has been preserved with minimal circulation, light reflects naturally across the surface with a beautiful glow. Over decades of everyday use, that luster gradually fades. Coins that still display strong original luster are becoming much harder to find, which is why they often receive more attention from collectors. Now, look closely at Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Study the hair above his forehead, the cheek, the jawline, and the bow tie. Sharp, well-defined details usually indicate the coin has experienced less circulation. Then flip the coin over and examine the wheat ears. Strong wheat lines and bold lettering are signs of excellent preservation and are always appreciated by collectors. Another important factor is the coin's original color. Copper naturally changes over time. Some 1942 pennies remain bright red, while others become red-brown or eventually brown. Although each color has collector appeal, examples that retain vibrant original red surfaces are generally scarcer than ordinary brown coins, especially when they also have very little wear. Now, let's explore one of the most exciting parts of coin collecting: genuine mint errors. While they are uncommon, authentic production mistakes can make a 1942 no-mint mark penny especially desirable. Look for off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks struck through errors, and other mint-made varieties. These errors occurred during production at the mint and should not be confused with scratches, dents, or damage that happened after the coin entered circulation. Some collectors also search for recognized die varieties and signs of doubling. If you notice lettering or design elements that appear unusual, compare your coin with trusted numismatic references before assuming it is rare. Careful research and patience are two of the most valuable tools a collector can have. One mistake that continues to reduce the value of collectible coins is cleaning. Polishing or rubbing a wheat penny may make it appear shinier, but it usually removes the original surface and leaves tiny scratches that professional graders can easily detect. Collectors almost always prefer original, untouched coins over cleaned examples. Proper storage is equally important. Copper coins can develop fingerprints, spots, or environmental damage if they are handled frequently or stored in damp conditions. Using a protective holder and keeping the coin in a cool, dry location helps preserve its condition for future generations. Stories of exciting discoveries continue to inspire collectors around the world. Beautiful 1942 Philadelphia wheat pennies have been found in inherited collections, estate sales, old jars of change, and even unopened bankrolls. While most examples are modestly valued, exceptional uncirculated coins and authentic mint errors continue to attract strong collector demand because they are much more difficult to find. The greatest lesson from a 1942 Lincoln wheat penny is that every coin deserves a careful inspection. Knowledge, patience, and attention to detail often lead to the most rewarding discoveries. In the final part, we'll discuss realistic values for the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, explain how professional grading affects collector demand, and reveal the final checklist every collector should follow before buying, selling, or preserving this historic wheat penny. Coin number 3. What if I told you that a single 1953 Lincoln wheat penny with the D-mint mark hiding in an old coin jar, forgotten inside a dresser drawer, or passed down through your family's collection, could be worth far more than just 1 cent? Most people never think twice about an old wheat penny, but experienced collectors know that the right coin can become a prized collectible. Today, we're taking a closer look at the fascinating story of the 1953 D. Lincoln wheat penny and the details that collectors search for before deciding whether a coin is truly special. The story begins in 1953 at the Denver Mint, where millions of Lincoln wheat pennies were struck with the small D mint mark beneath the date. These bronze coins entered circulation across the United States, buying groceries, newspapers, movie tickets, and everyday necessities. They passed through millions of hands, and after more than 70 years, many have become worn or damaged. That's why well-preserved examples are becoming increasingly desirable. The first thing you should do is confirm the date and mint mark. Make sure the coin clearly reads 1953, then look below the date for the small D mint mark. Once you've confirmed those details, examine Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Look closely at the hair above his forehead, the cheek, the jawline, and the bow tie. Coins with sharp, crisp details usually experienced much less circulation than heavily worn examples. Now flip the coin over and inspect the wheat ears on the reverse. Strong wheat lines, bold lettering, and clean surfaces are excellent signs that the coin has retained much of its original appearance. Small details like these can make a noticeable difference in collector interest. Another important factor is the coin's original color. Copper naturally changes over time. Some 1953 D pennies still display bright red mint color, while others have toned to red-brown or brown. Coins that retain vibrant original red surfaces are generally much scarcer and often receive greater attention from collectors when combined with outstanding preservation. Now, let's talk about one of the most exciting parts of coin collecting, genuine mint errors. Collectors carefully search for authentic off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks struck through errors, and other production mistakes. Although these errors are uncommon, every genuine example is unique and tells part of the story of how the coin was made at the Denver Mint. Some collectors also examine 1953 D pennies for recognized die varieties or repunched mint marks. While most coins are normal issues, anything that appears significantly different deserves careful comparison with trusted numismatic references before reaching any conclusions. One mistake you should always avoid is cleaning your coin. Cleaning removes the original surface and often leaves tiny scratches that reduce collector value. Experienced collectors and professional graders almost always prefer coins with natural, untouched surfaces. Professional grading can make a significant difference for exceptional examples. Grading experts carefully evaluate strike quality, wear luster, eye appeal, and surface preservation before assigning a numerical grade. High-grade certified examples are much scarcer than ordinary circulated coins, making them especially attractive to advanced collectors. Every 1953 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny tells a story. It represents one of the final years of the famous wheat reverse before the Lincoln Memorial design replaced it in 1959. Today, collectors continue searching through inherited collections, estate sales, old coin jars, and bankrolls because remarkable discoveries are still possible. Before you spend another old wheat penny, take a closer look. Check the date, confirm the D-Mint mark, inspect the color and details, and search carefully for any genuine mint errors. Your next exciting discovery could already be waiting in your collection. Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll explore the features that separate ordinary 1953 D pennies from premium collector examples, discuss the mint errors that attract the most attention, and reveal the simple mistakes that could cost collectors money without them even realizing it. Now, the real treasure hunt begins. Imagine you're searching through a box of old wheat pennies collected by a family member many years ago. Most of the coins show heavy wear, faded details, and years of circulation. But then, one 1953 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny immediately catches your attention. The color looks brighter, the design appears sharper, and the coin seems to have survived in much better condition than the others. That is exactly the kind of discovery every collector hopes to make. The first thing experienced collectors examine is the coin's original mint luster. When a 1953 D. Wheat Penny has been preserved with very little circulation, light reflects naturally across the surface with a beautiful glow. Over time, everyday use gradually removes that luster, making original examples much more difficult to find. A coin that still displays strong mint luster often attracts much more collector interest than one with dull, worn surfaces. Now study Abraham Lincoln's portrait under bright lighting. Look closely at the hair above his forehead, the cheek, the jawline, and the bow tie. Strong, well-defined details usually indicate the coin experienced very little wear. Then flip the coin over and inspect the wheat ears. Sharp wheat lines and bold lettering are signs of excellent preservation and are qualities that experienced collectors appreciate. Another important factor is the coin's original color. Copper changes naturally over the years. Some 1953 D pennies remain bright red, while others have toned to red-brown or brown. Coins that still retain vibrant original red surfaces are generally scarcer than brown examples, and often receive greater attention when they also have excellent eye appeal. Now, let's talk about one of the most exciting parts of coin collecting, genuine mint errors. Collectors search for authentic off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks struck through errors, and repunched mint marks. These mistakes happened during the minting process and should not be confused with scratches, dents, or damage caused after the coin entered circulation. Every genuine mint error tells a unique story and adds excitement to the search. Some collectors also inspect every 1953 D penny for recognized die varieties. If you notice unusual lettering, doubling, or other features that appear different from normal examples, compare your coin with trusted numismatic references before assuming it is rare. Careful research is one of the most valuable tools a collector can have. One mistake that continues to reduce collector value is cleaning old coins. Polishing a wheat penny removes its original surfaces and often leaves tiny scratches that professional graders can immediately recognize. Collectors almost always prefer natural, untouched coins because they preserve the coin's originality and history. Proper storage is equally important. Copper coins can develop fingerprints, spots, or discoloration if they are handled frequently or stored in humid conditions. Keeping your 1953 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in a protective holder and storing it in a cool, dry place helps preserve its condition for years to come. Remarkable discoveries continue to happen every year. Collectors have found beautiful 1953 D Wheat pennies in inherited collections, estate sales, old albums, and even rolls obtained from local banks. While most examples are common in circulated grades, exceptional uncirculated coins and genuine mint errors remain highly desirable because they are much more difficult to locate. The greatest lesson from the 1953 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny is that patience and knowledge often lead to the best discoveries. Before spending any old wheat penny, inspect it carefully. The smallest detail could transform what appears to be an ordinary coin into a fascinating collectible with lasting historical and numismatic appeal. In the final part, we'll discuss realistic market values for the 1953 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny, explain how professional grading affects collector demand, and reveal the final checklist every collector should follow before buying, selling, or preserving this classic wheat penny.